the learning experience of the students. I have been assigned the duty of welcoming each of you to the session. First of all, let me welcome our chief guest, Mr. Suresh Namboothiri. He has served as the Chief Operating Officer of Tata Motors and played a crucial role in the development of India's first car, Indica, and Director of Espoir Technologies. We are very pleased and honored to have him here. I respectfully welcome Mr. Suresh Namboothiri to this session. Next, I
Thank,
heartily
thank,
welcome the whole team of the IEEE Education Society Kerala chapter to this session. Now, the success and failure of any event are decided by the participants. We are very much excited to have you as the participants for the event. I welcome each and every one of you to the webinar. Have a great time attending this session. Thank you.
So let me take the opportunity to introduce the speaker of the session. Good evening, everyone, and I am delighted to introduce Mr. Suresh Namboothiri. Mr. Suresh Namboothiri is a specialist in product design, automobiles, consumer electronics, home appliances, and professional electronics equipment with over 30 years of industrial experience. When he resigned from the corporate world to contribute to the Indian engineering education, he was the chief operating officer with Tata Motors. He was part of the team that developed India's first car, Indica. He was also part of the development of Toyota Innova, Ford Fiesta, Honda City, and Accord. He has also designed microwave ovens, refrigerators, washing machines, computers, mobile phones, and accessories for the first time in India. Beyond engineering, he is a highly sought after professional interviewer for senior corporate positions. He has interviewed over 12,000 candidates for various engineering positions. He has traveled to about 22 countries and closely worked with engineers of 8 countries. Mr. Suresh Namboothiri is the Director of Espoir Technologies. Its offering, IMAX, India to the Max, strives to work at the real challenges of engineering education in India. He is a BTech in Mechanical Engineering, MTech in Manufacturing Engineering, and MBA in New Product Development. With these few words, sir, I invite you for the session. Thank you, one and all.
oh, good evening, Dr. Rajesh, and welcome everyone. And ladies and gentlemen, I hope you can see my slide here. This session is about outcome-based education, the underlying threads. I want to stress here, this is not about OBE, but it is about the underlying threads. What is the difference here? I wanted to speak about that. And before that, I want to tell you, you may think I am the odd person to speak to faculties about OBE. And it's a story that how I entered into this. You must be knowing that the person who understands the quality of a country's education is the interviewer. When we interview the candidates, we really come to know what is the quality of education. Therefore, in my case, I am very much blessed in that because I interviewed a lot of people during my career, right from graduate engineer trainees to vice president. Therefore, I got a curiosity that why graduate engineers, they are not able to answer questions in an interview. When I first spoke to the college professors and various academicians, the first answer I got was that there is a communication problem. But when we went in in-depth analysis, we realized that it is not a communication problem, it is actually a comprehension problem. We say communication problem when someone cannot write properly or speak properly, but that is not the thing. Actually, the comprehension issue is they can't read, they can't listen, they can't understand. That is the main problem. So therefore, we started investigating further. So in that way, in 2004-5 itself, I came to know about Bloom's taxonomy, and there are various learning theories associated with this. I started analyzing when I interview somebody in which level of Bloom's taxonomy they are, or what are the type of the thinking what they have, or where it can lead them in their career. So this actually made me leave from this full-time industry work to something which I can contribute to the country in a different way. So that is the reason I resigned my well-paying job and I decided that let me do something else. So the rest of the story I will tell later. So we are coming back to this. I am going to speak about the underlying threats. The reason is I am sure you would have gone through many programs on OBE and what is PO, what is CO, what is PO, what is PSO, and how to map things. All those things I am sure you know. But what nobody will tell you is the thing I am going to tell you here. I repeat, whatever nobody will tell you, I am going to tell you there because it's a secret. This is my name. Okay, this is a presentation. Yeah, this is how to achieve the objectives of OBE. I have a question I wanted to ask. By doing MRI scan, will somebody's disease get cured? While going for laboratory test and making all reports, will it get cured? No. We need a treatment. I am going to speak about that treatment. There are so many people, they speak about the problem. But here I am going to list out the study conducted in India with 248 engineering colleges from west to east to south to north. So this is based on a study. I am not going to speak the problems alone. Here it is a well-established solutions are shown. First, I wanted to tell you that here there people are spreading rumor that engineering doesn't have the demand. So I am coming to that first. Engineering actually revolutionized the world. It brought us from here to here. And engineering is the idea of progress. And you know that progress cannot go out of fashion because progress is always in progress. Engineering cannot lose its sheen. Every day we use most of the thing equipments, gadgets, consumer durables, consumer non-durables. All these things are results of engineering. Then how engineering can go out of fashion? So employers see certain students more valuable than others, even though they all come from the same classroom, following the same syllabus, taught by the same teachers. At this point, I wanted to tell you that Indian engineering education system in some way assume that every student is going to become a researcher, but only 0.3% of employment is in research. Every faculty member is appreciated only for their research work and citation. And then what about the students sitting there in the class? What about their employability? Ultimately, there are parents, they are trusting the system, trusting the college and sending them to they are sending them to the college. What are they getting back? So here, those students radiate value through their conduct, responses, and perceptions, and employers love that. Every employer is looking for value, not a degree certificate. Employer is looking for what that degree certificate can do for him. Your certificates have no value to the employer unless those certificates create value for the employer. Employer may even doubt the legitimacy of the degree if the candidate, if the student doesn't demonstrate the value. So where this value comes from? The value comes from OBE and graduate attributes. That is the only way we can hope, because when we make a car and we sell, we are guaranteeing that customer that there is, you buy this car confidently, it will work. Similarly, 500 rupee note, it show the governor of Reserve Bank of India writes that I give equivalent of this 500 rupees to you. Similarly, outcome-based education, when an employer recruits a candidate, should be able to confirm that this candidate will be able to perform the job. So, graduate attribute and corresponding Bloom's learning objectives. Let us see here. Engineering knowledge, that is related to Bloom learning objective, apply. Problem analysis, it is a evaluate. Design development solution, it is create. Conduct investigation and complex problem, evaluate. These are all the 12 graduate attributes according to Abbott and NBA. Now let us see like this. We need to achieve graduate attributes. Our students, they should become employable, they should become confident, and they should become good members of the society, so that where do our graduates exactly stand? What is the current reality? This I am going to show you this along with the Bloom's taxonomy. This is by a survey conducted with 37,000 stakeholders from 248 engineering institutions across India. 94% of graduate engineers are confused graduates. They can only recall facts and repeat information. There are various things we cannot write on a slide. This 94% of the students, they don't show self-confidence. They are going back to their homes as a less confident person than they came. They left their homes. Actually, instead of adding value to them, that most of them, they feel they wasted their time. Even parents say that. Say that at least to send some good individuals back to us. That is not happening. So 94% of graduate engineers are confused graduates. Employers hesitate to select from this group. Why? These graduates lack concepts and insight. That is very important. They lack insights. Moreover, they are not easily trainable for serious jobs. Now, what are all the consequences of that? Without insights, they don't develop any interest. Without interest, they fail to find the directions. As a result, they lose the self-worth and they get into wrong master's degree programs only to stretch their student life. They want to tell their society, they want to tell their friends that I am a student. Therefore, they go to master's degree. It is not that they are going with a deep interest in something. So wrong master's degrees further narrow down their chances of employment. This causes further erosion of self-confidence. And social pressure pushes them into wrong jobs and wrong paths. Then ultimately what happened? Entire society clap and say like that, engineering doesn't have demand. It is not that engineering still has got the demand. If there is no demand here in engineering because some other country across Himalaya, they are making use of our progress. they are encashing. They can fund their wars against India by selling phones and telephone accessories and other things here, and we are contributing to that. Now, I'm going little fast here. Now the second group, it is a 3.7%. Okay, I forgot to tell you the earlier group 94%. They are part of Bloom's taxonomy, lowest level, that is Lord's lower level thinking, that is remember. 3.7% of graduates are average engineers, means they can comprehend, they can explain ideas and concepts. Actually, employers select these graduates from this group to do repetitive tasks, where the essential skill requirement is to blindly follow specific, rigid, mundane processes that don't require any thinking or imagination. We tell something, you can see like that, many of the coders, they go from this particular group, means they don't question, they blindly follow, and they complete their job. They do not get any ideas of their work, what they do, but they can do it well. But they need close supervision or instruction every time in every work. And they don't have a concept or confidence to deal with complexity. There are issues like this. And now we are coming to the third level. Previous level was Bloom's comprehension. Now we are coming to the third level. That is 1.5% of graduate engineers are practical engineers. Means they can use the information in new situation. Many people, they think that apply means they know how to fill an equation with variables. That is not. Bloom's apply means they can use this information in new situation. This most employers try to select graduate engineers from this group. Why? Because they are a better lot. An employer can expect them, expect in the country. They exhibit at least interest to learn. Now it's coming to fourth level, that is 0.8% of graduate engineers. They are the higher order thinking people of the country. They can do the Bloom's analyze, evaluate, and creation. This total are 0.8%. This 0.8% of the entire student population, it is too low for the country. If you go to Wikipedia and search for gifted people, they say in every population 1.5% of the population are gifted people. Like some girls, they can dance very well without even learning dance. Some people sing very well without even singing. Some people speak. In that way, they are all gifted people. So here we will see like that. We are not able to even bring in the gifted people with this type of capability of doing engineering to this engineering system. We have got only 0.8% of students. They can do analysis, evaluate, and create. With this population, we cannot expect to have a good startup here. We cannot expect to have entrepreneurs here. The reason is the type of the entrepreneurship the development program happening here. Some people come and explain how to form company, how to get loan. Entrepreneurship is not like that. They have to get that internal feeling and internal confidence to start something of their own. That confidence is not coming. If that confidence is absent, whatever money given, or they don't know whether they know how to approach or whom to approach to start a company, they are not going to do. Even if they have that confidence and if they have got that enthusiasm, there is no need for someone to teach which place to go. They will go and they will find the finance also. That is the reason even in IITs in India, we do not have even one good startup. This is the reason you can understand that we say we are an IT superpower, but we do not have our own operating system. We do not have even one app which is world famous or recognized. We do not have even one software. Now there is a Soho and all. They are all they are all exceptions. Otherwise, there is not even one software from India, and we have not even designed a good keyboard or mouse. With all these things, we are claiming that um, uh, we are we are claiming that we are an IT superpower because we do the lower order coding. We are not doing anything things in the top. This is the reason we don't have people over there to do such work. I wanted to tell you certain things because I am coming from manufacturing. About few years back, there was a report in the Economist magazine. Economist magazine, they made a breakup of the iPhone costing. In that iPhone costing, they said if $500 is the cost of iPhone, they told that maximum money they are spending outside is $14.6 is going to Samsung. Samsung is supplying the display and another chip. Then there are certain things, small items, and total cost Apple spending outside is $135. The rest of things are profit for them. And interesting thing is, out of this 135, $6 is going to the final assembler of iPhone. That's a company called Foxconn. For Foxconn is getting $6 out of $500, and we are actually doing everything to bring that for Foxconn company to India. Means we are fighting for a share from that $6. We should be actually thinking about making something of that $500. Why it is why such a thing happening? Another example, you think about a small country called Israel. I am coming from Kottayam. Israel has got a size of Kottayam district, but we are buying 55,000 to 75,000 crore rupees worth of weapons from Israel. Why? What is this type of situation? Actually, World War, First World War and Second World War, it created a lot of employment. Actually, from 1947, we are at war. And why such an innovation? War type of an innovation and war type of an employment, which is not happening here. This is the reason. Now I will tell you another example. This make in India. Or even I am not speaking about politics. I am only speaking from the engineering point of view. When we do not have these type of abilities, that is analyze, evaluate, and create, even if we are making one version, one model of an equipment, we don't learn anything from them. This to develop a new version of that. The new version also should come from foreign country. That is the reason. Take every Chinese phone manufacturer, they came to India to take care of the tax concessions. They are bringing even to the painting fixtures, they are bringing from here abroad. They are not doing it here. Okay, I am going next. Now, how does this situation affect OBE and graduate attributes? Here you see that one, engineering knowledge, that is actually knowledge coming from the application. We have got only 1.5% of students. Problem analysis 0.8%. Design development of solution, that will come under creation. It is 0.8. Conduct investigation of complex problem, that is coming to evaluation. It is 0.8. Environment and sustainability, So we will see like this, all the higher order thinking, which can be 1.5 or 0.8% only. So in 2000, 9.5 billion Google searches were made. In 2016, 9.02 billion Google searches were made every day. If our engineering education system only helps students remember the data, that is the equivalent to whatever Google gives on a search, then, then we are not actually getting education at all. Quality of engineering graduate is the most serious threat faced by the country. I will tell you, I am coming from the manufacturing, true manufacturing. I involved in so many things. With this, I will tell you one thing frankly, as a patriotic Indian, quality of engineering graduates is one of the most serious threats than Pakistan and China. It affects everyone from villages to the country's defense forces. You please see, you please go and check why Indian rupee is sliding like this. When I got the awareness, that is decades ago, I know that when Indian rupee against the dollar was only some 6.5 rupees. Now it has come to 78, 80 and all. Why it is going down? We will see like that when the common sense which says, or the economic says, when the import is more than export in value, our currency's rate will go down, down, down. And okay, one thing, we are not blessed with the petroleum. We have to buy some petroleum, so that there is some foreign exchange we need to give. But at the same time, if our engineering is good, if we will do things efficiently, even the petroleum import can be reduced. Second thing, you please go to OECD, OECD site and see. India's second most import is finished engineering goods. Last year alone, we purchased 57,000 crores worth of telephone access, mobile phone accessories here. So once when I was flying from Amsterdam to here, one German sitting next to me, he told me that you tell your people why Indians can't solve India's problems. Indians are not solving India's problem. We are all doing research about something foreign. Only that one we want to publish it here. Why Indians can't work on India's problem? He said one more sentence. If Indians solve India's problems, next 100 years, the Nobel Prize won't go outside India. Because that type of problems are here, and we have got that brilliance to solve those problems if we really try. But that is not happening. It affects everyone, because when the currency value currency gets devalued, petrol becomes expensive, and it is affecting everyone from villages to the country's defense forces. It affects everything. Country's economy to country's self-esteem. This self-esteem is very important. One of my friends, a Japanese, he was here last month. He was so happy to see that. Okay, every second scooter passing through this place is a Honda Activa. Why it is? Then he's telling that so good. So Bloom's taxonomy, even though it was developed in 1956, it has got more relevance to today in India than it did when it was first presented. Specific learning objectives can be derived from the taxonomy, though it is most commonly used to assess learning on a variety of cognitive levels. Means Bloom's taxonomy has got solution also built into that. We are coming to that one now. The urgent need is to raise the levels, but how? Bloom's taxonomy has got a built-in solution. So our first thing is confused graduates must be transformed at least to average and practical engineers. And it is very clear, everyone cannot be a creative person. Everyone cannot be an application person, but at least we need to bring this type of 94% percentage of graduate engineers are confused graduates. That is actually a curse on the system, that we must change that. These are the two major hurdles, and we are going to speak about what to do for that. Now it is on hurdle 1, how to cross hurdle 1, or how to transform confused graduates to average practical engineers. The solution is train these students to perform Bloom's verbs in bold in their branch of engineering. That these verbs in bold, they should perform in their branch of engineering. In order to do that, students must acquire higher levels of comprehension skills and moderate critical thinking skills. I am sure that most of you would have taken Viva-voce examinations. In this Viva-voce examination, because many times people call me also for master's degree, I go and I sit as a Viva-voce external examiner as an industry person. People only utter few words here and there. It is up to us to connect them and take. Unless we get comprehension ability, we are not going to get the insight, means the juice of a subject. We think that what is in the syllabus and what is coming in the last 3 semesters question paper, that is what the subject is. Being a mechanical engineer, I can say that a subject like a theory of machines, there are crores of pages total, but we have a limitation in the syllabus, so we make it into 1,000, and from that 1,000, ultimately it will come to some 40-page guide. As part of our studies, we have gone to different colleges, backside of the college on the day of the examination. We have seen that the students, almost everyone, is learning from a locally published guide. In that locally published guide, we don't need any comprehension skills, because it is only some definition, some equation, and some workout example. That's all. And some people even cut that one, that 40 pages will become some 7 to 8 pages, some cheat. So when that happens, people say like that is what engineering is. Then the comprehension skill is not necessary. But if we don't get into comprehension, if we don't understand the juice out of that, develop an insight out of that, real concept out of that, we are not going to find anything for application. We are not going to use it in any other place. So important thing is, we must have higher levels of comprehension skills and moderate critical thinking skills. Then every branch of engineering will become enjoyable. Now I am coming to hurdle 2. How to cross hurdle 2, that is how to transform average practical engineers to innovators and startup founders. We need at least 6% of the people here for this country to develop. In order to achieve this, the student must acquire excellent comprehension and language skills, excellent critical thinking skills, and I am going to tell the most important thing, they should have idea exposure and world view. Unless we have idea exposure and world view, we are not going to develop anything new. See, there are slave engineers and master engineers. Slave engineers means someone else should tell, okay, you do this, then they will make that and give. They never think. They don't have the ability to do any of the higher order thinking. So in a nutshell, what I am coming to is, in order to achieve the objectives of OBE, all mapping, PO, CO, everything is on paper. It is only quantification. But that is not the spirit of OBE. If we do only that, that is old wine in new bottle, that's all. It is not going to give any result. By making any other thing, syllabus change, dual degree, or making to 4 years to 5 years or 5 years to 3 years, and people can leave after 1 year, 2 years, they will get a different type of certificate. Nothing is going to work unless they develop some insight, they develop confidence in them, and they have that world view. This is very important considering the post-COVID employment situation. In post-COVID employment situation, plus the onslaught of artificial intelligence and machine learning and robotics, every company, top consultants say, now onwards, the employment is going to be very challenging. Only those people, they can go beyond this automation, only can have sustainable income and sustainable job. Other people can't have. Means wherever there is a discretionary work is involved, that is human work is involved, that is that is the only places there will be employment. Now, what is the difference between animal and human being? Human beings are called Homo sapiens. Homo sapiens, what are all the key characteristics? Homo sapiens are the beings, they can do abstract thinking and convincing communication. These are the two things actually made humans today. I am repeating, we should have the ability for abstract thinking and convincing communication. This is what differentiates between animal and human being. If we are not acquiring these two in our subject, and then we are not actually Homo sapiens. Now, I am going to show you here, in a nutshell, in order to build professionally competent engineers, it is imperative for the students to develop higher levels of comprehension and language skills, critical thinking skills, and idea exposure and worldview. Here, I will tell you another secret. When we have to go for higher education abroad, some of the examinations what we have to write, GMAT, SAT, SAT, IELTS, IELTS, etc., etc. What are they checking? What are they big universities in foreign countries? What are they checking? They are checking these three things. They are seeing higher levels of comprehension and language skills, critical thinking skills, idea exposure, and worldview. Means the foreign universities are actually testing Indians or other applicants in this way before taking there. But in India, we are conducting one gate examination. The structure, you know, that is the reason we get MTech students without any of this. In my opinion, our gate examination is the thing really ruining the future of Indian engineering education. You may ask why? Because of the structure of the gate examination itself. See, if I purchase butter, if I purchase chicken, if I keep it separately, it is not butter chicken, it is butter and chicken. Similarly, if you see that one, if gate is an exit examination, this should not be the structure of gate. For example, if someone has to design a gearbox of a car, there are several topics from mechanical engineering involved in that. There is theory of machines, there is gear design, there is material science, which will understand what is the material of the gear. There is lubrication, Means what is the lubrication involved in that? In this way, some six various branches, topics are involved. But in the case of gate examination, one place they ask a question about theory of machine, one place they question ask about lubrication, one place they ask about strength of materials, etc. This combination is not there. So therefore, we don't get an engineer out of the system. We only get some subject theorist from this. And one more interesting thing, I have studied last 12 years 12 years gate examination question paper out of curiosity. There is some questions from English. It is only 12th standard English grammar questions are given something in the beginning of the test. Actually, the objective is to test the students' comprehension ability in English. In that way, if that is the real objective, each question should be written in such an English level that the student should be able to understand that. Okay, now let us come to individually to these three things. Now I am going to explain to you higher levels of comprehension and language skills, how to achieve. Critical thinking skills, how to achieve. Idea exposure and worldview, how to achieve. Why it is important and how to achieve. Now, first going to higher levels of comprehension and language skills. Now, first question is, can you think without words? Only primitive thinking is possible without words. So, no serious thoughts, that is higher order thinking skills, are possible without words. So, we need language. We need language if we are to understand anything beyond a formula. When I speak about language, many people, especially from the North India, they jump. They say like that, English is a colonial language. English people, they treated us as slave. But we have to be practical. English, you forget about what are the Englishmen's English. We have to see English as a virtual learning device. It's a learning medium. So we then the second question people ask, then how Chinese learn engineering, good engineering without English, how Japanese learn, how Koreans learn, and how Spanish people learn, and how French people learn. There is an answer for that. I lived in all these countries. I will tell you one example. When I was staying in Japan, in Osaka city, I went to the biggest bookstore there called Books Kinokuniya. It's a 7-storied building, and I went to almost everywhere. I could not find an English book. I went and then I went to the receptionist and asked, where are English books? She told that it is on the 6th floor. I went to 6th floor. I could not see. Then one helping person was there. I asked him, okay, where are English books? He has shown me a shelf near to the toilet. That was only one shelf. It had English books. These countries, a similar experience I have in France, I have in Korea, I have in Barcelona, Spain. They have the wherewithal, they have the structure. If something is happening in English, within a week, everything gets translated there. When we have such a system, we can learn engineering in Hindi. There is no problem. But till that time, till we reach to that level, we have to depend on English only. So English is a necessary evil. We have to live with that till we get into that type of an economic structure. So we cannot escape from English language because it's a necessary evil. So in Bloom's level 1 remembering, what type of language skills we need. In Bloom's level 2 understanding, what type of language levels we need. apply, analysis, evaluation. When we go to higher and higher, we need higher and higher levels of language skill. See, you can perform creation only with divergent thoughts because it involves building a structure or pattern from diverse elements. It also refers to the act of putting parts together to form a whole, a new product or a new point of view. The activities like synthesizing, developing, writing, etc. call for higher levels of language skills. So here, just remembering of definitions, equations, the definitions, equations, derivations, and graphs can't take a student beyond this red line. They need higher language skills for comprehension. I am going a little fast because we can save some time. Now, how to build language skills? Every engineering college has got a language lab. Nobody goes there or nobody is happy with that. And every syllabus has got something called communication, technical English, or whatever it is. People are not developing anything out of that. Why? The cognitive education psychology has got an answer in that. According to cognitive education psychology, there are only two ways a young adult can acquire a second language skill. Only two ways. Those two ways, it is written here. One is theme-based learning. Second is speaking. Theme-based learning means if you are interested in cricket, read cricket news, cricket commentary. You will acquire English skills. If you are interested in movies, go for movies, English, and then you develop English. Not through grammar and mugging up vocabulary. We are not going to acquire English skills with that. Second is speaking. Speaking is the real human skill. When we speak, almost all our alertness, it is there on the peak. When we speak, sometimes we get new ideas while speaking. Why? Because speaking is a time our entire concentration is there on that. Our brain and our tongue, it is closely related. So we can acquire English skills only through theme-based learning and by speaking. So here it is. What is the theme-based learning, etc. I briefly explained. Now, as I was telling you, I am not sitting here to tell problem. Here we are here with the solution, because in theme-based learning, now what are the things we did? We have got a particular platform called IMAX, that is India to the Max. In the last 11 years, we consistently did research and developed many products on that. So the first one is in theme-based learning, it is smart English through technology and science. We have got smart communication through wit and wisdom. That is made for teachers. Smart communication through wit and wisdom, because teachers need wit and wisdom. Teachers should be teacher should be able to immediately respond to the questions. Then we have got various language programs related to this, the theme-based learning and speaking. For speaking, we have got world's first and only spoken English simulator. In spoken English simulator, we develop the ability to speak in an extempore way. Now we are coming to speaking. See, in Quran, the most repeated word is Allah. Second repeated word is speak. Similarly, every communication in Bible, that is actually done through speaking. Speaking is the most important medium in Buddhism. And if you see like this, if you see Encyclopedia Britannica, it says like that in ancient Indian educational system, the teaching learning process was mainly through debating, through speaking and listening. But we slowly change to the totally dumb system, that is read, write, read, write, read, write. I know that there are many students, they complete the graduation, maximum 3 to 4 times they got an opportunity to speak. If you really see like that, in American universities, there are 40% of the examination are through oral. In Russia, it is 60%, because there is a big difference between written examination and oral examination. When I go for a written examination, I can go through the question. I can start from question 18, because I know that well. I can go to 9. I can go to everything. But when we are going for an oral examination, we have to actually follow the sequence. So when we know that the examination is oral, I know that most of you are PhD holders. You know the difference between writing an examination and defending a thesis. So here, ancient Indian education system was full of questioning and answering, not reading and writing. So speaking is a very important part of education. So here we see man does not speak because he thinks. He thinks because he speaks. Or rather, speaking is not different than thinking. To speak is to think. So we have to make our students maximum to speak. Now here I will tell you something which is hidden from our educational system. In Bloom's taxonomy, there are 3 domains. We are only speaking about the cognitive domain, but the most important domain is the second one, that is affective domain. Affective domain is the emotion based. Any product, any theory, everything is actually related to the affective domain. Affective domain, we are not speaking at all. So, and the third one is psychomotor domain. This convergence of cognitive domain, that is knowledge, affective domain, that is emotion, psychomotor domain, that is the skilled movements. These 3 combination, this convergence is the speaking. So therefore, when we speak, this Bloom's taxonomies, all 3 domains are involved. Now this is the thing. We have totally kept a blind eye to what Abbott did. In 1948, Abbott, then it was called Engineers Council of Professional Development. They published a book by saying that engineers should speak. This book is not here. Speaking can be easy. Means engineers should learn by speaking. Speech is the mirror of the soul. As a man speaks, so he is. That is the reason no company will recruit anybody without taking an interview or series of interviews. This truth is known to every employer, every customer, and every stakeholder. Therefore, everyone judges everyone by their speech. This is reflected in every aspect of engineering, research, development, and operation. Now I am going to skip here. Why? Okay, this is important. Why speaking is crucial for engineering students? Speech has 2 important functions. First is interpersonal or this relational. Speech is the most crucial communication tool. Second is intrapersonal or ideational. While speaking, we develop idea. While speaking, we are actually having an internal communication. So speech is the most crucial learning tool. Speech is the most crucial idea generation tool. Speech is the most crucial examination tool. We are not using this at all. Unless we put a little effort into this, OBE's objectives are not going to be met. Now, these are all explanation, but because of the time, I am leaving this. See, we have spontaneous speaking simulator with all over 300 speaking situations, video-based communication trainer, over 8,000 sessions of practice yourself in speaking, audio-based spoken English simulator in 10 accents, and we have got world's first and only professional interview viva simulator with 24 branches of engineering. All your branches of engineering according to AICT syllabus, according to the syllabus of various universities and autonomous institutions, we have got a professional interview viva simulation, and we have got a professional interview viva trainer. So this is the conclusion. I think I already spoke many of the things in confusion way. Now I am going back, going to the second critical thinking skills. Now what is the time? It is 8 o'clock. Rajesh sir?
Yes, sir.
Yes, hope you can hear and things are going.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's very clear.
Okay. Now can I continue with this? I may take about 15 to 20 minutes more.
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Now we are coming to the critical thinking skills. When I speak about critical thinking skills, this is what actually every religion wants human being to do. I will tell you one example from Hinduism. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Gita is the only instance in Hinduism where the supreme God speaking directly to a man. It is the only instance. There is no other place. In this, it is you know that one. It is a Gita Upadesha. Sri Krishna is giving all advices to Arjuna, and Bhagavad Gita has got 18 chapters, and in 18th chapter till 62nd sloka, Sri Krishna is giving advices what to do, what not to do, what to do, what not to do, till 18th chapter 62nd sloka. Then in 63rd sloka, what Sri Krishna says is the important thing, and that is the important thing our country forgot. 1 minute. Sri Krishna says in 63rd sloka, up till now I told you all secret of secrets. Now you think it over and act appropriately. Means God is not instructing. God is respecting the other person's mind. God is showing trust in the other person's mind, Arjuna's mind. God is telling that I am God, you go and do. It is not like that. That is not the approach taken. Means even Sri Krishna says you do the critical thinking. You do the analysis. But what we did is that we are blindly following things. Even OBE is blindly followed. Even Washington Accord is blindly followed. There are many things which requires a foundation. That is the reason in some countries OBE is successful. There are many countries where OBE is failure. In Australia they stopped. In Europe they stopped. They started implementing and they stopped. It is because this is not something which need to be blindly followed. We completely make a POC, or we made the charts, we make the we fill the charts, and we for the NAC everything. What is required for accreditation means instead of students' employability, what is important is accreditation. See, I am coming from industry. I may be making some provocating statements, but I have got my reasons for that. You can always argue with me, and I am always tell to correct myself, and I am always ready to change myself. But these are all the things I observe from international people and from what is happening here on the ground. So I am coming to critical thinking skills. See, you know the person on the photograph. He said, I never buy anything unless I can fill out on a piece of paper my reasons. I may be wrong, but I would know the answer to that. I am paying $32 billion today for the Coca-Cola company because I have to write the reason. Then only he will do. So this is what the basic of the critical thinking, that is reasoning. I am going a little fast here because because of the time limitation. See, an engineer's effectiveness is measured by his/her ability to identify and solve problems. Or in other words, an engineer's effectiveness is measured by his/her critical thinking abilities. Now, I will come to another point. See, we are all using one particular app called Instagram. One person few years ago realized that now all cameras are being sold with all phones are so sold with the camera. So there is a requirement to consolidate and communicate through pictures, and he made Instagram. See, similarly, if we see like that, many of these things are on common sense or people's ability to unearth the problem. Solving problem is very different from unearthing the problem. We will have our own operating system, our own apps, our own software, our own Photoshop, our own CorelDRAW, our own things. If we have that ability to unearth the problem, unless we have the ability to understand the emotions, understands other person's requirement, we are not going to unearth the problem. Unless we unearth the problem, we are not going to develop any new product at all. So this critical thinking is the most important thing if we are to go to apply. Unless we know some other thing where the same principle can be applied, we never apply anything. We will actually sit with all the theories we have. So, for developing critical thinking skills in students, what are the things we did? We have got a module called Formulating and Asking Questions Through Critical Thinking. Critical and creative thinking for each branch of engineering. We have got critical and creative thinking for electronics and telecommunication engineering, critical and creative thinking for mechanical engineering, critical and creative thinking for civil engineering, critical and creative thinking for artificial intelligence, etc., etc. We are a team of about 158 people. We understand from the ground level what is lacking, and we develop products for that. Means we are a people, we unearth problems. Then intellectual standards for critical and creative thinking. Applying critical and creative thinking for problem solving. Spontaneous speaking critical thinking simulator. A person who spontaneously speak in an accountable, convincing way, he is a very good critical thinker, because he is formulating answers. He is understanding the question fast. Within seconds, he is formulating the answers, and he is verbalizing that in a way it will communicate in the best way. So, spontaneous speaking critical thinking simulator and creative and critical thinking tests. These things we have in our platform. So, here in conclusion, I wanted to tell you an important thing. Critical thinking is taught in our colleges and all like a subject. No one can teach critical thinking. One can only work using critical thinking. Means critical thinking is not a subject, but a means to achieve a result. Therefore, Learning to value thinking and speaking may involve a shift of mental gears for all stakeholders in the professional education system. So therefore, don't try to teach critical thinking. One should behave. Critical thinking should be part of the 24 hours or part of the classroom, asking why, or wanting clarity, or the reasoning, or checking the assumption, etc., etc. So I am coming back from here to idea exposure and worldview. In idea exposure and worldview, the important point is a Latin dictum, philosophical dictum, ex nihilo nihil fit. It says, out of nothing, nothing comes out. Nothing comes from nothing. If all we have is nothing, that is all we will ever have, because nothing cannot produce something. Now, what Steve Jobs said, it is written here, but I will speak in very less number of words. Creativity is nothing but rearranging things. What we already know, we rearrange and we make something new. If we don't know many things, we don't have anything to rearrange. So we won't get any, we will not be creative at all. So that is what he says. Creativity is like connecting dots. Each dot is an idea what we understood from the past, or we read something in the past, we observed something in the past, and we are going to join them together, these dots. And if you don't have those things, if we don't have reading experience, if we don't have listening experience, if we don't have exposure to new things, then we don't have dots to connect. So we remain as a dry, non-creative person. Actually, when we tell our children, only study these things and then don't look around, actually we are blocking the creativity. Ex nihilo nihilo fit as lessons while planning for outcome-based education and graduate attributes. 7 graduate attributes directly depend on the Bloom's categories of apply and create. Please understand this, 7 graduate attributes directly depend on Bloom's categories of apply and create. Only 1.5% of students are able to apply their domain knowledge. Only 0.8% able to create something out of their domain knowledge. I repeat, only 1.5% of students are able to apply their domain knowledge. Only 0.8% able to create something out of their domain knowledge after spending 4 years or 6 years in an engineering college. That means only 2.3% of students develop 7 of the graduate attributes. Application and creation abilities are the major impediments for others. The root cause is here, ex nihilo nihil fit. Nothing cannot produce something. Application or creation can't happen at random. It is not coming out of the blue. It is a result of past reading or experiences. For example, we are not able to express an absolute random idea or number. Any idea you randomly think of is associated with a logical event in the past. Any engineering idea you develop will be a blend of multiple technical and personal experiences or exposure in the past. Linus Pauling, the recipient of 2 Nobel Prizes, stated that the best way to get a good idea is to get a lot of ideas. But how to get a lot of ideas? Students acquire a lot of knowledge in their domain, a lot of knowledge in their domain, their branch of engineering. Then what is blocking them from applying that knowledge? That is worldview and idea exposure. They are only getting theory, equation, graphs. They are not getting worldview related to that. For example, I am a mechanical engineer. Whether I am getting a worldview related to thermodynamics, worldview related to theory of machines, whether I am getting an idea exposure related to that. It needs world knowledge and idea exposure to imagine about linking theory, that is domain knowledge, to a practical purpose. That is the reason we don't link a theory to a practical purpose. So this is about worldview and idea exposure. There are 21 accepted definitions of engineering. The common keywords among them are application of science, organizing, directing, science of economy, conserving energy, economic production, efficiency, means, methods, etc. Each of these needs idea exposure and worldview. Without idea exposure and worldview, we cannot do any of these functions. So mere knowledge of definitions, equations, derivations, and graphs can't take students beyond this red line. There is no entry without idea exposure and worldview. Now I want to tell you that our IMAX platform, what are the things they have? When a student joins engineering, they should understand why your branch of engineering is interesting and inspiring. We should know one thing, unlike foreign countries, our students, after just a few days before they joining the engineering, they will come to know which branch they are going to study engineering. In the research what we have done, there are 3 distinct type of engineering branches. There are certain branches that is touch and feel branch, like a mechanical, civil, architecture, electronics, and a computer hardware. These are all touch and feel type of an engineering branch, because there are certain type of cognitive skills which is required for that. Another type of engineering branch, it has got a shift of controls, that is electronics, electronics and telecommunication, etc. There's a shift of control. It has got circuit diagrams. I will tell you, I am that first type. I have not drawn even one circuit diagram in my life. I cannot do. And the third group is the coding. Means they will get that sense of coding, the transfer of control, syntax, and the complete logic flow. That is good for the for information technology. One important thing is, a pure mechanical mind person cannot do the rest of the thing. The second type of person cannot do the second thing, but we don't give any importance to that. And therefore, students come to know about their branch of engineering only almost at the time of joining. But in foreign countries, because of the do-it-yourself system, they know about the branch of engineering well, what they are going to study in each branch of engineering well in advance, and they have got a viewpoint on that. The people may not join for one particular branch which they do not like, but here this is not the situation. So it is very important that at the earliest, the student should be taught why your branch of engineering is interesting and inspiring. We have got a module like that. Then we have got a simplified summaries of over 150 important books. The third one is, there is engineering habits of mind. Like politicians have their habits of mind, the doctors have their habits of mind. There is a good literature called Engineering Habits of Mind. We have got an interactive module like that. Then learning engineering principles from the human body. See, human body is something each one of us owns, so that we can learn so many engineering principles from this. How our what is the relationship between our skin and a fruity packet or a tire? We will see that one various things from our body in various engineering application. We have got a particular module called learning engineering principles from human body. Then problem finding and idea generation, innovation lessons from our ancestors. Our ancestors were very innovative, and that is the reason I am able to sit here and speak to you. I am sitting in Pune, and you are sitting in various places. So innovation lessons from our ancestors. So there are many things like this. Okay, there's a conclusion. I'm going back. So here I have spoken to you about 3 important things which already insisting by foreign universities while giving admission. They are higher levels of comprehension and language skills, critical thinking skills, idea exposure and worldview. Without these 3, our engineering education cannot go beyond bottom 2 levels of Bloom's taxonomy. Now, before I finish, I will tell you another example. Okay, let it from what is the cost of 1 kg steel? The best quality steel, it will come something around 250 rupees per kg. What is the cost of 1 kg aluminium? It will come something around 300 to 350 rupees. What is the cost of 1 kg brass? It will come to something around 1,200 or something. What is the cost of 1 kg glass? It will come something around 100 rupees. So, if I put some glass, some brass, some steel, something, and with some rare earth metal, everything, I will put inside one aluminum dabba, and I am asking you to pay 6,80,000 rupees per kg. Will you give me? Rajesh sir, you got the question?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
How will you pay?
I'm listening, sir.
Yes. Okay. See, I am putting some steel, some aluminum, some rare earth, some glass, some plastic, everything. I am putting in an aluminum dabba, and I am telling that give me 6,80,000 rupees per kg. We are giving for that when it is made to an iPhone or an iPad. Actual material cost is something around 1,000 rupees or 1,200 rupees is the material cost. But when it is coming to our hand per kg iPhone, it is coming to 6,80,000 rupees. This difference is the value of engineering. If it is done properly, that money should be given employment to our students. Why are we not able to do that? We are giving away all the freedom to develop the product to foreign countries. Then we sit here and say that we don't have job and we don't have salary. Therefore, it is very important. We are coming back to this. For a self-respecting Indian, for a patriotic Indian, it is very important that we have to be developing our own products. We should be creators. We should not be remembering people. So how to do that? With the same system, we cannot do that. The 3 important things required for that: 1, higher levels of comprehension and language skills; 2, critical thinking skills; 3 is idea exposure and worldview. With this, I am concluding. Now please ask questions.
Audience, the floor is open for questions.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir. Actually,
Good evening.
the talk was really wonderful one. It was an eye-opener to the system of education. Myself is CM Varghese, the chair of Education Society. And I have been in industry for, especially the manufacturing industry for last 42 years in the power
Oh, very good,
electronics.
very good. So
Okay.
we are in the same
So,
boat.
yeah, I do agree with the most of the issues, problems you told facing industry, facing education.
Thank you.
Perhaps here in Kerala, when I have interviewed the kids, the beta kids, I found very few of them having the basics. It is
Yes.
basically the problem of the system which was nurtured over a period of years. You know, in Kerala, we have all pass in schools.
Yes.
So, as you rightly told, it is not only the engineering. Here, the education system, right from school, colleges, natural engineering, it has eroded. The quality has eroded. Basically, the basic reason is the political system has prompted to such a level because in Kerala, we had around 200 engineering colleges. But you remember in our days, it was less than 10.
Actually, when I studied, it was 5.
Yeah. During our days, you remember passing SSLC from a rural government high school was a real achievement, and getting first class was a really big achievement.
Exactly.
But now, as you told, it is a 10% pass means this 10% pass students will ultimately coming to engineering colleges.
Yes.
Here I can tell you some of the ITI students or some of the diploma students are much better than this BTech students.
Exactly.
And most of the MTechs are those who couldn't find any jobs. They go to the MTech.
Yes.
If you look at many of the private engineering colleges, these guys become teachers there. Then you can imagine the quality there. So unless otherwise there is a system change, anything is going to happen. And as far as the manufacturing is concerned, you know, in India, the manufacturing and major part is contributed to MSMEs, and MSMEs are lacking the infrastructure for R&D. So this can come only if the infrastructure is developed by government. You know, China has grown to such a level where because they supported the infrastructure by government level. So these are the lacking. You know, still India is not having a manufacturing setup for the chips, ICs. So a lot of such things are there. Unless otherwise government come forward, build this infrastructure, we will not come out. Even if we import many of the electronic goods, you know, China has become the hub of electronic goods, especially the power electronics, such items. The finished goods is cheaper than the SKD or CKD because the duty content on SKD and CKD is higher compared to the finished. It should have been reversed. So it is possible still the government think they say suppose they put a high import duty so that only manufactured goods should give some sort of, not some sort of, a good sort of priority to manufacture, sell and incentivize for some years, it will come up. Along with that, build up the infrastructure. So things should happen. And the education system should come up with a very good standard. If you remember 70s, 80s, we have a system was much better. Education system was much better. So it has gone bad. Let us pray it will come up. People like you and me can talk only because, you know, we cannot change system. Most important thing what I used to feel is the life skill is the most important thing we have to teach our students. It must start from the home. So if a student is having a good life skill, he will attain all the skills automatically. So that must start from home, not only from the schools, colleges can add only that. So like there are a lot of things to talk. I don't want to again extend it because, you know, I'm sure many of our colleagues here will have their own opinions or feedback to give you. Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you. Thank you for your.
Any of the participants having any questions, please respond. You can open your mic. We don't have much time. We will be concluding soon. Yes, sir. A question is in the chat box. Should I read it for you? Okay, so I will read it for you, sir. So, a question from Bharatdi. In a short span of time, we got to understand many aspects of the education system, So more importantly, after listening to your talk, I got a different, deeper insight on the vice versa examination and the importance of speaking. How can speaking be integrated to the engineering, sir? This is the question.
Okay. See, that is an important question. How speaking can be integrated. If you see like that, anyone who is working in industry, 96% of official communication is happening orally. It is not in writing. Similarly, you can convince a person only orally. So therefore, it is important that one should be able to handle questions uh, uh, in a spontaneous way, logically convincing way. When we do that, immediately our level of learning will be different. Therefore, we developed world's first and only professional interview viva voce simulator, so that students can face engineering questions. They can answer spontaneously, and it will get recorded. It is based on um, artificial intelligence level 1 or 2. Yeah, audience, please do one thing. We have a website called like interviewmax.com. Interviewmax.com. When you have time, please visit there. Each branch of engineering, you can go for your branch of engineering, and you can see the details there.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your wonderful answer to the question. I think we could conclude. We have exceeded the time limit. Rajesh, sir, could we conclude? Hello, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So, sir, let me thank the speaker, our Suresh Namboothiri sir, for spending his valuable time. So it was really an eye opener, and it was very useful talk as far as an academician. I'm teaching, so it was an eye opener for me. So thank you, sir, for spending your valuable time out of your busy schedule and giving a lecture for about 1.5 hours. So on behalf of all of us, especially IEEE Education Society Kerala chapter, I extend my wholehearted thanks to you. Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot.
Good
Thanks
night.
a lot. Your time is equally valuable, and I hope I respected your time, and there is some takeaway from this talk. In that way, I feel happy. Okay.
Sure, sir. Thank you, sir. Your words were so inspiring for entire team, entire participants in the meeting.
Okay. Thank you.
So after all, thank you, sir. Okay, ma'am. Lisha, ma'am, anything?
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
So last,
Thank you all.
I thank.
Good night.
Good night.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Sure, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Everyone can leave the meeting. Thank you for joining.